Well, it has already been quite an embarrassment, it must be said, for Emmanuel Macron's government. On Wednesday, a court then will announce its verdict in the trial of France's justice minister, who is embroiled in a conflict of interest scandal. Eric Dupond-Moretti, once a star defense lawyer, was charged in 2021 with misusing his position to settle scores with opponents from his legal career. He is the first sitting French justice minister to stand trial. More on this, France 24's French politics editor Mark Prellman joins me on set. Hi there, Mark. So Moretti has actually framed these allegations as not very serious, just for show. How big of a deal is this case then, really?
It is a big deal. He actually described the allegation as, quote unquote, infamy. He said that he wanted to clear his name. And you had this very unusual scene of a justice minister sitting on trial before this special tribunal. This is called the Court of Justice of the Republic. It's made up of 12 MPs, 6 senators and 6 members of the National Assembly, and 3 professional magistrates. So it's a kind of hybrid court. It's not legally a pure court of law. So some are saying its judgments are sometimes tainted by politics. But nevertheless, the verdict will be delivered at 3 p.m. Paris time. And the prosecution has recommended a 1-year suspended sentence against Eric Dupond-Moretti. He was facing up to 5 years in jail. So they're not asking too much, but maybe hoping that this will be indeed the decision. This is, as you said, very unusual. It's the first time a sitting minister is facing this court. You had previous ministers like Christine Lagarde, who is the current chief of the European Central Bank. She was brought in for some issues when she was a minister, but she wasn't a minister when she faced the court. So now, and the symbolism of having the justice minister is obviously not lost on anyone. As you said, he's accused essentially of using his office to start investigations against magistrates or judges he sparred with during his long career as a defense lawyer. He said, no, I had nothing to do with this. But clearly during the trial, the prosecutor said that he should have totally removed him from those issues and from those allegations, and he didn't do so. So the assumption is that he was really seeking revenge. So we'll know the verdict this afternoon in a couple of hours.
Now, this puts President Macron in an awkward position, if you will. I think he's been relatively tolerant, it could be said, towards ministers with legal troubles, but it's getting increasingly difficult for him to avoid. Then how is he likely to react to this latest scandal?
Well, we'll just have to look at when he was elected in 2017. I want a clean government, and his first justice minister, François Bayrou, who was a heavyweight, much more than Eric Dupond-Moretti. His key ally to win this election in 2017 was forced to resign his position, not because he was charged, but merely because he was put under formal investigation. The trial for this case is happening as we speak, 5 years or even 6 years later, but he was forced to resign, and he was really a senior position. Since then, we've had ministers put under formal investigation. The labor minister, Olivier Dussopt, is currently on trial for favoritism. Emmanuel Macron's closest aide inside the Élysée Palace, Alexis Collor, his chief of staff, is also under formal investigation for allegations of conflicts of interest. And so we've seen really a shift. Emmanuel Macron, we don't even know what he will do if Eric Dupond-Moretti is formally indicted. The logic would be that he would leave the government. The Prime Minister, Elisabeth Borne, said, well, the rule is the rule. She didn't say which rule it was, but it would be very awkward for Emmanuel Macron to keep Eric Dupond-Moretti in government if he's indeed found guilty. And so we'll have to see. But everything is still open. Emmanuel Macron hasn't said a word on this issue, nor has the Élysée Palace. We'll have to see the verdict, and we'll know very soon if Eric Dupond-Moretti will stay or if he will have to resign.